everybody. Welcome to Bourbons and Bullshit. Big, the Boss Hog on the numeral 11. Oh, wow. What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Bourbon and Bullshit. I got a buddy of mine, Mr. Dave Deems. Welcome to Texas, brother.
Man, thanks for having me.
Yeah. I didn't know this until I picked him up at the airport. This is his first time here doing the Texas show, which is really, really cool.
That's what brought me to town.
That's pretty cool. So we've been planning this one for a couple months now, right?
Yeah, quite some time.
Yeah, so we talked about this for 3 or 4 months ago of getting him on Bourbon and Bullshit. And the funniest part is I get to start this whole episode out with bullshit. Because we're doing an episode of Bourbon and Bullshit and we're going to drink some rum.
I'm a rum drinker.
He's a rum drinker.
I told him I can't appreciate all the fancy bourbon he's got here, so we're gonna try.
So we're going to do some really good rums on this episode of Bourbon and Bullshit. So I get to call bullshit right out of the gate. So what we've got is we've got a Bacardi, hand-selected, hand-bottled, straight from Puerto Rico. I went to Puerto Rico a couple years ago with a buddy of mine. And this is a single barrel of, this is number 23 of 49 out of that single barrel that there was only 49 bottles of this made. And it's etched with my pretty name on the side of it.
Yeah, sure is.
And I've opened it before with some friends when I did my bourbon, rum, and tequila night. But I wanted to give you something that was special that you'll never, ever, ever get in the States. Okay, so I'm going to give you the honor. You pull straight up and you get that sound. All right, so let me see if I can figure out the proof on this. So the difference between a bourbon, we were talking about this before we started recording, the difference between a bourbon and a rum is a bourbon is 51% corn in a brand new American barrel. This is made from sugar cane. Is all your rums are made from sugar cane. This is 86 proof, so it's 43%. So I've always said I like my bourbons and stuff anywhere from that 95 to 105. This is a little light. You'll also see it's a little light in color in comparison to what we were looking at before. A lot of your ryes are redder, but these tend to be sweeter, more vanillas, more caramels, things like that. So that's for you. Welcome to Texas, brother. So, oh, that's interesting. So we talked about smells. When we didn't open it before we started the video. And I smell a little bit of cherry and molasses.
So I thought you were full of bullshit when you told me I was going to smell different from the smell. So like, I can't even figure out what I am smelling.
Yeah, so it takes time to learn that. But I smell them on my left nostril. I smell molasses.
Yeah, I have a molasses, maybe vanilla.
Yep, you can smell a little bit of vanilla there, right? So, all right. Oh, that's sweet. Right on the front. Ooh.
Definitely a little different from Captain Morgan.
I'm calling bullshit on the Captain Morgan stuff. Scott Warden always orders a Captain Coke and Lime, and we pick on him. You taste that sweetness? What are you tasting there? I'll tell you a couple things I'm tasting.
I think it's the molasses.
Yeah,
and
you get a lot of
vanilla
molasses on that, don't you? Yep.
There's something, I'm not sure what it is, but something reminds me of you.
I'm getting a little bit of honey, like a light taste of honey. Almost honey and marshmallow kind of mixed together. But that molasses is probably the most dominant thing I'm tasting out of that.
It's like a graham cracker.
Oh yeah, I could associate it with that for sure. Much different than anything you've drank.
For sure.
Taste that sweet on the front. God, that's good.
It's smooth too.
All right, so let's talk about it. Who you are, where you from, what do you do, all that kind of stuff. So, where are you from?
I live just north of Orlando.
Okay.
And I work for Storage Asset Management. I'm a business development manager there. And yesterday was 11 years for me.
Nice. Congratulations, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we had about 40 stores when I started working there, and now we're like knocking on the door of 600.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is absolutely crazy. I know you've been a big part of that. And give a couple shout outs to Melissa and to Alicia and her husband. Some really good people that you work around. I've known all you guys for years and years and years. 11 years in the industry. Probably 10 of them I've known you, right? Or something. But
I knew of you for a long time.
Correct. Same thing.
We had a lot of mutual friends, but I was intimidated by you.
Really?
Yeah, you had the jacket thing going on.
That damn jacket!
And I would walk by you, and you'd be with people I knew.
Yep.
But we didn't really know each other.
So how did we get to know each other?
I don't want to say the whole story, but
I don't care.
I have mutual friends, and they're all like, "You got to talk to John. John's like really helped me." And so I came up to you in Florida at the Florida Self-Storage Association show and introduced myself and tried to give you some money and make an investment.
And what I tell you?
Told me no.
I want your money.
Yeah.
I said I'd rather help you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we had a great talk. And then shortly after that, your book came out.
So I'm calling bullshit on the great talk because I learned something on the ride from the hotel. So this is what I love about this podcast is I get to call bullshit because I learned that apparently I was an asshole to him during that conversation because I called his bullshit on some things and he finally told me today, I was mad at you after that conversation.
Oh, it's true.
So why were you mad at me?
Well, we talked a little bit, and you told me my biggest problem was I had no confidence.
Gotcha.
And I was working at Sam, we're growing the business like crazy, and I was like, this guy, I don't know what he's talking about.
He's an ass. Yeah.
And then, like, you're a passionate person, so
Correct.
we didn't know each other that well.
Correct.
And you're pacing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you're going to say or do, but I can tell something's building up. You finally grab my shirt, and you drag me off to the side in the bushes.
Yeah.
And just kind of started, might have been a little bit of profanity, a little bit.
Of course there was.
You were trying to help me see something in myself that I didn't see.
That I saw.
And
Absolutely.
I wasn't ready to hear it yet,
Yep.
is what it was.
Yep. And,
So yeah, I was a little upset. But then we sat next to each other on a plane later coming home from Vegas.
Funny story. We were going to Vegas.
Well, we were going.
We were heading to Vegas. And he was flying from Orlando. He stopped in Houston as a stopover, and I live in Houston. So I was flying out of Houston, and I'm literally standing there, in a daydream of some type, and I turn around, and he's standing right behind me. I was like, Dave Deems, what's going on, buddy? And that was right after you bought my book, right?
Yeah.
And
I brought my book and had it in my backpack, and I never had you sign it.
Correct. So we literally spent 3 hours in that conversation to get to Vegas, where it was probably a little softer message at that point.
Yeah, and I think I was ready to listen at that point.
Yeah.
Because I had read your book, because a lot of what was in your book were things that had helped me.
Yeah. So thank you for hearing it. Not because I said it, but my goal is always people first, and sometimes I do know I'm passionate and forward and blunt, things like that. So, and what we talked about on the ride here to the house today was, sometimes you have to deliver a message in different ways to different people. The good news is, over time, that was absorbed by you. One of the things I always say is, you can listen to as many different people as you want to, but if you don't take action internally and externally, then, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, right? So congratulations to you. I'm not going to take any credit for that because you're the one who had to take the action. And since then, you've done pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I've done pretty good. I've always been grateful for my job at SAM.
It's a perfect fit for who you are and what you do. And that's why I'm proud to know you as a friend. And so, for the record, we're in direct competition with each other. I have a third-party management platform. That's what you sell, is third-party management. And what did I do for you last week?
You sent me a lead.
That's correct. Because it's not a good fit for us, and relationships matter, and you go to the people you trust. And I trust you guys, and I sent you a lead because relationships matter. They really do. And if I'm going to trust in somebody, I'm going to trust in you and Alicia and Melissa and people like that. You guys do a good job.
I appreciate that. And that's something that I've noticed from the people that you've surrounded yourself with. They all have the same mentality.
Yeah, they're all a bunch of assholes too, which is true, but they're just as passionate as me, but in a different kind of way, right? Yeah. So I'm proud to be surrounded by Damon and Scott and Christina and Robbie. I say a lot of times, a lot of people don't know who Robbie is because he's so behind the scenes. But Robbie's the backbone of our company, and talk about passion. He's got as much passion as me. Robbie Dunn, you just got a little bit more empathy than I do. Okay, a lot more empathy than I do, because that's what gives us a good balance amongst our team. Is internally, Christina's the driving force, Scott's the backbone internally. Damon's the mouthpiece of the industry when it comes to his passion with what he does. That's what I appreciate about you, is you have that same passion. You just do it in a different way. So
yeah, I think a lot of it is just being authentic with people. Mm-hmm. I've always been able to pretty much speak to anybody, but when you're in an industry that you love, you're in a company that you have a lot of confidence in, it just makes it all easy for me.
Well, you're good to them, and they're good to you. And I think that's what I mean by people first. That truly matters. Is if you're in a company, we talked about this, about being in retail, and he comes out of grocery store retail, I come out of hard goods retail. And in our growing up in business, most of our leaderships were a bunch of assholes. And you learn from that. You learn what to do well and what not to do well from that. And we've shared a bunch of those horror stories on the ride today.
Yeah.
But you learn how to treat people kindly and fairly and truly with love, and you don't have to truly be an asshole about it. Though I am sometimes, apparently. But
I'm very grateful though, because if we would have never really met and got to know each other, I wouldn't have left my comfort zone and worked on some of the projects that I've been able to do. I needed that little bit of a nudge.
Good. I'm sorry in one way that it had to be me, but I'm kind of happy in the other way that it was me, because one of the things that I've always said is money doesn't change you, money makes you who you are. And there's a lot of people, not just in this industry, but that have made a lot of money that don't give back like that. And I take a lot of pride in giving back like that. A lot of people that are on this podcast are people that we've rubbed elbows with over and over and over again that have helped me, and I've helped them, and it's really turned into some true friendships. One of the podcasts on here is Bradley Elliott. my next door neighbor in Pike Creek that just bought an embroidery store. And
I saw that podcast.
That's pretty cool. He's a good dude, man. And so if you need shirts or what have you, Bradley and Sammy, it's called Hill Country Embroidery in Bandera, Texas. And they've done a bunch of stuff for me already. And they really do a good job. So, like, tell Alicia for all your store managers' shirts and stuff. Bradley Elliott, that's what I said, Alicia. Bradley Elliott's good. He can print shirts with their logos on them or whatever. Like, he does t-shirts, he does embroidery, does some really cool stuff. You have a dog. That reminds me of what they're doing. What's your dog's name?
Rip.
So, and what kind of dog?
He's a golden retriever.
Gotcha.
18 months old.
18 months old. So if you follow Dave on social media, you're going to see what he's teaching this dog. He's smart, man. He really is smart. It's taking a little bit, but he's smart.
He's such a knucklehead. So I got a grant for a service dog, and he is a service dog. He's supposed to help me with some PTSD. But he's supposed to recognize when my cortisol levels heighten.
He doesn't want to hang out with me then.
But what's
mine's
funny
all the time.
Well, what's funny is he gets worse than me.
Oh, really?
He hasn't figured it out completely yet. So he knows if I am starting to get up here, he's supposed to be able to recognize that and try to calm me down before it elevates. But instead, he doesn't know what to do. So he just freaks out and he just gets the zoomies and runs all over my house. And
does that tell you that your cortisol's high when he does that?
Yeah, he'll start licking me.
Yeah.
But you got to go through a lot of training before you get to the task portion, which we're getting to now. But we have a great dog trainer, Steven and Jen in Orlando, the Orlando dog trainer. I'll give him a shout out.
Nice.
They do a great job. He still goes back. He was there for a week recently, but he's just great.
So my mom has a full-size Yorkie, never been trained. She doesn't know if he's ever been trained. My aunt has epilepsy, and minutes before she has a seizure, he'll get up and start barking at her. He hears it or smells it or sees it. There's something that he knows about her, and my mom's never trained him on it. And so my mom, like, it's instinctive from Sammy, her dog, and it's absolutely amazing to watch because he'll stand up on the sofa, stare at her, and start barking at her. And then within minutes, she has a piece of technology in her chest that when she has mild seizures, it vibrates a nerve that makes her not have the seizure. And but what it does is it makes her voice gravelly because it vibrates that nerve. So she'll start like this, like a gravelly voice. But just prior to her talking in a gravelly voice, he'll be barking at her because he knows the seizure's coming. It's absolutely amazing, the instinct from that dog with never being trained.
It's crazy. So both his parents were service dogs.
Oh, cool.
One was for somebody with epilepsy.
Oh, wow.
But they breed them specifically for that, but a very small percentage can actually make it through it on. But the funny part is my daughter ended up with the brother of my dog because he didn't test well that he could be a service dog. And the funny part is she got him a lot less expensive than my dog. He is just an awesome dog. He was one of the top dogs that this trainer has ever trained.
Really?
And he only trained him for 2 weeks.
That's funny.
And he's all calm and he's just a great dog. So
Rip, what I know about Rip is he's goofy and playful and wants to have fun. And I see him on video all the time. He listens well now, but he's still a puppy.
Yeah.
Like he has that puppy energy to himself. Married?
Yes, married 37 years.
Yeah, that's exactly, what's your wife's name?
Lori.
Lori, that's why they make all of this, is for 37 years of marriage. So I've been with Jenny 40 some years or something, and you asked why I have a collection like this. That's why they make alcohol for marriage.
Yeah,
I'm going to get my ass kicked from Lori. Watch.
got very lucky.
Yeah.
So we've been together since very young.
Yeah. Got your kids?
Yep, we've got 2 kids.
Okay.
30-year-old girl.
Okay.
She lives near me, and then my son's 4 years older, and he lives in Pittsburgh still.
Gotcha. So there is one thing I do know is you got a grandson.
I have 2.
Yeah, I know, but you're always doing something.
Yeah.
So I know that for a fact. You take those boys fishing and everything, right?
So my grandson in Florida, my wife watches him at our house.
That's why I see him with you all the time.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Sometimes I don't even. I think he's my son. Sometimes I just call him my son, just out of habit or accident or whatever. But it is like raising a kid again. But I'm a lot more patient now than I was.
Oh yeah,
with my kids.
Okay,
Yeah, you choose what. Choose
That's
what
why
you're
grandkids are so much better than your actual kids, right? Because you can have that kind of. Well, you can always give them back too, which is the other nice thing.
We
With your own
spent the
kids.
night Saturday night, and he's supposed to go to bed at 8. And we went in his bedroom and we just sat in bed and played games and stuff till like 10 o'clock. When my wife finally came in and said, "That's it.
You 2 boys need to go to bed."
Yeah, just absolutely.
Yeah, not just him, but you 2 have to go to bed. That's fine. I know one of your main hobbies is fishing. So we've been talking about going fishing together for probably 3 or 4 years now and never had a chance. So
I saw the lake in your backyard, so
Yes.
we might hit it for a few minutes.
come on, that's what it's there for. So
Yeah, I love fishing. So I can't turn work off. Like I just, it's always on my mind. I work more than my boss wants me to work. You know, I'm not required to work like I do, but I enjoy it and I can't turn it off. But when I go fishing, I'm controlling the trolling motor.
Yep.
I'm looking for the bait fish. I'm
Yep.
looking for birds.
Yep.
I'm looking at the electronics, and
Yep.
I don't have my cell phone in my hand.
You can't.
And it's like I get out there and I just start thinking about all the things I'm so grateful in my life too. So it does both those things for me. So fishing is a great outlet for me.
So I've always said in different places that I've lived, in the colder places, I've had a hot tub. In my house at Pipe Creek, I have a small swimming pool. And I like to fish, whether it's wade fishing or deep sea fishing, or you could fill this glass with water and I'd fish it. Like, it does not matter what I'm fishing. But the beauty of all of those things is you can't have a cell phone in your hand on doing any of them. Like, if you had a cell phone in your hand, what the hell are you going to reel with, right?
Yeah.
So the thing I love about going fishing is it forces you to disconnect. It forces you to bring your cortisol down. You don't have a choice. But what I've found with myself personally is it takes me 3 or 4 days of doing that without work to truly come down off of that cortisol. It's not, like, I can't go fishing for 2 or 3 or 4 hours and come down off of that cortisol. It's just, my body just won't let me. I went fishing with Dave McKay last Tuesday down at Puerto. I caught the 3 redfish.
I saw the proof. I
Yeah.
saw the picture.
I caught the 3 redfish. Dave caught probably 6 redfish, but they weren't slot fish, so they have to be like 20 to 28, and his were like 16, 18, just under the 20. So he had to throw them all back. He caught like 6 of them, but couldn't keep, no keepers. But on the black drum, he slayed it. He probably caught 9 black drum or something.
Wow.
So so I brought home a bunch of fish last Tuesday, and I did a Cajun fettuccine alfredo over a piece of Cajun redfish with this place on the ride home called Prasek, Prasek. There's a couple of them around here. They're kind of a meat market. I asked him if he had any andouille sausage, and he said, "Have you tried this sausage that has the macaroni and cheese in it?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "You gotta try it." It's like $5.99 for like 5 of the decent sized sausage pieces. I cut them up, fried them in butter, garlic, cut the sauce with white wine, boiled that off, added heavy cream, stick of butter, and a whole bunch of cheese, Tony Chachere's, and then fettuccine, and then put that over the grilled redfish that had Tony's and butter all over it.
I'm getting hungry.
Son of a, that was that good. Like, it was restaurant quality, and it was amazing. But what I realized when I was out on the boat that day is that I was out there for 4 hours, and we were probably 3 hours in, and I was still stressed out sitting on that cooler waiting for those fish to hit. And I realized it's going to take me 2 or 3 days of doing this to come down off of that work. So I can relate to the cortisol of PTSD type of stuff, because that's, we've talked a lot about Pat Reinecke, and that PTSD has really jacked with me today is the 10-month anniversary of Pat passing away. Trying to get off that cortisol is really, from a PTSD type of thing, is really, really hard. So I can relate.
I know he's a great friend.
Yeah, he was a dumbass. He was one of the biggest knuckleheads I knew, and that's why I was friends with him, is because he was such a knucklehead. So, I went and put my Treaty Oak shirt on that I got at the Treaty Oak Distillery in what's called Dripping Springs, Texas. So what I want to do is give you a little sniff of that, and they make an actual reserve rum. It's about $70 a bottle, and the reason I want to give you a little sniff of it is to taste the difference between 2 different rums. And I know some of your less expensive rums are made to mix with Coca-Cola. These you can actually sit and enjoy, or you can mix them with Coke, but you'll definitely get a different flavor profile. This is a single barrel, so this came out of 1 barrel, and this is 119 proof, so this is going to have some heat to it. So I gave you a little sniffer of that. I was telling you that I've got some bottles from Cuba after they opened the, see, totally different smell. A little bit more musty to me on that first nose.
Not as sweet.
Not as sweet, correct. Kind of has a little bit of wood on that left nose. Like, yeah, I'm not getting the molasses I got off of that one for sure. Okay, well, let's hit it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Still good. You get that vanilla on the front.
You get cinnamon?
I'm getting some cinnamon. You know what I'm getting, which is crazy? I'm getting pine. That resin of pine.
Yeah.
You taste
for
that
sure.
on the front?
I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tastes like you went into a pine tree. Still got that good caramel vanilla kind of taste to it. 2 totally different flavor profiles.
It lasts longer.
Yeah. That pine lasts a little bit too. It's interesting. I never had that on anything. But that's the difference between your bourbons and your rums. Like, I've never had a bourbon that had a pine or sappy type of taste to that too. Still pretty good. Not bad. So, I always end with 2 different questions. One, if you have to give them a business tip of anything that comes to your mind, what would you tell them about business?
You got to keep your word with people, protect your reputation, and surround yourself with the right people. It's one thing I've observed with a lot of successful people that I've seen in this industry is a lot of them just were with the right people. And a little bit of luck too, I think, but definitely a lot of people were successful because of their partners, that like good dynamic mixes of Some people are really good at one thing, another person good at another. I know I saw that in our company with Jay and Alyssa when we were, in the beginning stages. Alyssa was really strong in operations. Jay was like more of the money guy.
Yep.
But together they were great. That's
me and Robbie from the beginning, and now adding Christina, Scott, and Damon to that just modifies that and amplifies it too. It's interesting you say that, because did you also notice in this industry that the people that are not necessarily good with their word all migrate together as well?
Yeah, and I'm going to talk to you when we're not recording. Because I recently spoke with someone who was raising capital and couldn't even explain to me their performance. Wow. And was giving me bad information. Wow. And this is a pretty prominent company. I'll share more about that with you guys, but that's just a good example.
So I've just found that there's individuals in this industry that have jumped from company to company to company to company, and then end up with a company that is one of the non-trusted companies in the industry. So I always say, like energy attracts like energy, right? And that holds true for positive energy as well as negative energy. It holds true both directions. So I find it interesting that not only do the positive ones migrate together that become a success, but so do the negative ones. It's quite interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So last question, what gets you up every day?
Family. So I never really thought I was going to be like super wealthy, very successful. It wasn't really one of my goals. I've got to the point where I can retire 5-6 years and kind of live my lifestyle, and I'm fine with that. But right now, I'm really trying to build things for my kids and my grandkids. Like some of the money that I'm making now is just going towards that.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that, because if I have any impression on that, I'm going to help you change that so that your retirement is the best fucking retirement that you can have.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah. So, and whatever's left over, give it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I know some people have shared that same opinion.
Yeah. Well, some people kick you in the ass.
Yeah. So we went with our financial advisor a few years ago, and he's like, "You guys are okay. Number one thing is you guys stay healthy and you guys stay married. Because something happens to you, something happens to you too. It's like, it's a completely different picture." So the next morning, I'm like making my wife eggs.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. How do they get a hold of you?
724-650-5513. And my name's Dave Deems. So my email is ddeems@storageasset.com.
For those of you that don't know, it's John Manus, 210-818-1496, JCMANES at StorSuite.com, StorSuite.com. And as I always end these things, come join the fun. Good times. Thanks, bro. Thanks.